On a trip to a thrift store, you find a really cool chest. It looks kind of like a pirate's chest. So you buy it, you take it home, you start exploring inside this chest, and you find a map stuck in the lining. It looks like a treasure map. And it has this really strange clue, and you're not sure how you're going to do this, but you remember you had this lesson in geometry, and your teacher taught you how to do partitioning. And you remembered how to do that. Or maybe you didn't remember how to do that. Partitioning is just dividing things into equal parts. And these problems have a language that can be a little confusing. Partition segment AB at point P for a 3-to-1 ratio. Okay, let's see if we can translate that into English. Partition, part, means to break it up into parts. All right, so you want to think of these ratios as how you're going to split things up. If you had 4 cookies and you gave your friend 3 and you kept 1, that would be a 3-to-1 ratio. But you had 4 cookies to start with. That's the first thing you want to think about is what is the number of parts? And we get that by adding these together. So 3 parts to 1 part means we have 4 parts total. And here's a segment AB, and we're going to find a point P so that there are 3 parts to 1 part. Now, because this is a slanty line, that's a little bit tough to do. So we're going to do it with a horizontal component. So to go from A to B, if you had to follow just straight lines like you were walking on streets and couldn't actually cross somebody's yard, you would go this far horizontally on the x-axis, and then you would turn the corner and go up there. Except you would walk straight, not like that. So let's figure out how many blocks did we go. I'm just going to count them. And I know I need to divide this into 4 parts. Divide 12 into 4 equal parts. Each part would be 3 long. So starting here, 1, 2, 3, that's 3 blocks, 3 more blocks. This actually works out really slick. Watch this. From this point, I go up to the line. There's a point. And there's my second point, right where it should be, after the 6th block. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. The question is asking us for point P that splits this into a 3-to-1 ratio. They're saying A to B, so we're going to read that as if you are moving from A to B. That's the 4th part. And the coordinates for that point are going to be our answer. Find the coordinate of point P, that is 3/4 of the way along the directed line segment from C to D. C is where we start, and you're going up this way. And somewhere along here, there will be a point P that is 3/4 of the way. They're doing this problem exactly the same way as we did the last one. It's just that they're wording the problem differently. To get from C to D horizontally, we are moving along this line until we get to the -2, which is right here. So we're right in line with that guy. Now using my shortcut, and see how many blocks we have. And I know I need to break this up into 4 sections because the fraction denominator is 4. Where is the place where it's at 3 out of 4 places? 8 divided by 4 is 2. So every 2 blocks, we're going to go up to the line. I'm supposed to start at C and go up to D. So we're going to go over 2 and then go up to the line and put a point there. Over 2 and up to the line and put a point there. Over 2, up to the line and put a point there. And we have now created 4 segments. You don't count the points, you count the segments. Segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, and segment 4. The point P, that's 3/4 of the way up, 3 out of 4, 1, 2, 3. It's this guy right here. That's my P. Now we need to put the coordinates on that, and this is the origin right here. That point is x equals 0, and then y equals 1. Ta-da! Partition FG at point P for a 5-to-1 ratio. Well, 5-to-1, that means you're going to need 6 parts. You just add them together. We are going from F to G, so horizontally we need to move along here. I'd have to go 9 blocks and then turn and go up to G. We're going to have a little bit of a problem, and you may not always get integer answers, but we still have to do it the same way. I know I need 6 parts. I have 9 blocks that I have to divide into 6 parts. Well, that's 3 over 2. It's 1.5. You might be thinking of it as 1.5. That's okay, but it just means that for every block and a half I go, that's when I go up to the main line. So let's do it. Starting at F, go over a block and a half, and then that's when you go up to the line, and that's your first point. And then from here you go over another block and a half. This is already a half a block, so that's half a block, and then you go over another line, and then you go up to your line. So that's where the next point goes. I'm going to go over a block and then half a block and then shoot up to the line right there. Half a block and then a whole block, that's a block and a half, and then I go up to the line, over a block and a half, and then up to the line. And I should now have 6 parts. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I do. Yay! Point P is going to happen where you split it into 5-to-1 ratio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point P is right here. And now we have to put the proper coordinates on that based on the coordinate grid. X coordinate is halfway in between here. So that's 5. So this is 4. That would be 3. So halfway in between would be 3.5. And the Y coordinate would be, here's 2, 4. This must be 3. And that would be 3. And that would be the answer. Hey, if you got some value out of this, it would help me out a lot if you would like and subscribe so this channel can grow on YouTube. Thank you.